It's great to see the positivity and optimism continue in the community after yesterday's win against Fulham. I'm not too sure where this live video is going to go today, but all I know is we need to talk about Manchester United. So get your thoughts, your opinions in that comment section, because you dictate this live video and we'll answer them throughout today's video. Don't forget to support the channel by smashing that like button as well. I must say, on your match reaction yesterday, it was a very, very passionate Tony O'Neill.
Oh, it was passionate, all right. I think there's more relief. The pressure was on. The emotion over the last 3 games has just been off the scale.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I was at home last night and I was just absolutely shattered. Shattered. The pressure is just getting to me. But it gave me like a moment of reflection. And the reflection what I was having, I was thinking, my God, over the years, I've come out with some statements where people have thought, is he mad? Is he mad? And one came back to me. And I always said to people, and they were always baffled by it, I said, you've got to suffer. You've got to suffer the pain to enjoy the good times. And the 3 weeks, I think people have just like, their emotions have just gone mad because they have suffered. Now, I think quite a lot of people now understand to enjoy the good times, you have to suffer the pain, because the enjoyment, it just reaches that high up when you've been in pain, and we've been in pain for a long time. I was just sat there and I was thinking, my God, I am shattered, but what's made me shattered, and I have seen some things, carnage and chaos, but at the moment, I just look forward to the next 14 games, and I think to myself, where can it go? Well, it can go anywhere, but I also understand, and I was looking at it and I was thinking, yeah, but I also know the reality. This is like 14 games. What comes then? Why are these 14 games going to be different than next year? Well, the reason being is I look at it, it's basically 1 game a week. There's no pressure. It's play no fear. It all changes. Do we get a manager? Do we keep Carrick? Everything come into mind. So there's lots to talk about, lots what was running through my mind. But let me tell you, I was always right. A lot of people have been through pain and they're enjoying this more now, right, than like winning the games if you was winning week in, week out, because the pressure's off.
I think Jamie Carragher was eating some humble pie last night on Sky Sports in regards to Casemiro and previous comments on him. I mean, over the 3 games Carrick has took charge, I mean, Casemiro, you're looking at a 9 out of 10 performance overall in these 3 games, surely.
The whole media base is eating humble pie, right? They have just like really added in for United. You know, that's the job. But at the end of the day, the reality is, right, the ABUs, everyone out there, they're all eating humble pie. And it's great. Everyone hates Man United. I've always said it since I was a kid, right? I say it to everybody. I even say it to a Liverpool fan I talk to, or like, say, a City fan. I know you hate us. Everyone hates United. But Carrick, he's up there with some of the best. But the thing is, it's Man United. We don't care. You know, that's saying we do what we want. Of course we do what we want. We're arrogant, and we've got a right to be arrogant because everyone hates us. But, hey, I'm not worried about anyone else now. I look forward to the next 14 games. I just look at the football, what's coming, and I look at Casemiro, I look at Bruno, I even look at Delo, I look at Dorgu, I look at Harry Maguire, and I say to myself, these players are absolutely on fire. They're playing as a team I've not seen at Manchester United for a while, under different managers. I'm not talking about Erik ten Hag or anyone else like that, or Ruben Amorim. I'm talking about previous managers. I've not seen these players in these 3 games play as a team, the team spirit on and off. And what summed it up for me, yesterday especially, and we've seen it over the 3 games, but yesterday I just seen Lenny Yoro and Xerxes, you know, they're on the bench, that's where they know. And I say, these players on the bench are loving it. But when Šeško scored the goal and the way they just went charging at him was unreal. But that's the mood of the camp. They're not worried they're on the bench. They see the bigger picture. They're enjoying being at Manchester United. They enjoy what's going on and they understand it. And I think most United fans now understand where we're at. We had to win these 3 games. Well, we had to win the 3rd game, the most difficult one. for fans to believe. And I think those who in the comments, and there is a few comments, not going overboard and that. And I think what it is, I think they're sticking with the past comments and trying to hang on to that as if to say, yeah, I was right. I knew it'd go pear-shaped. Well, it's not going to go pear-shaped because we're all enjoying it. And I told you, Carrick takes over. This is what you're going to get. Entertainment, free-flowing football.
Yeah, we did say in the build-up to the United-Fulham game that it was more important to get the 3 points than what it was against City and Arsenal, with the reasons that we give. And I don't normally do this, but I give credit to Fulham yesterday for also putting their part into what was an actual really good football match to watch.
No, but it was always going to be the most difficult. And I've listened to Carrick's comments. He knew it was going to be the most difficult. He even quoted, I knew Fulham would come back at us. I knew Fulham would always be in the game. And then he cited the game when City were beating them 5-1. Now, at the end of the day, they came back and lost the game 5-4. But he knew Fulham would come back. They were always in the game against City. Now, at the end of the day, they got beat 5-4. The fact is they should have won the game. So he knew how difficult this was, and he had to prepare the team and set them up. And he didn't go gung-go. He was very cautious. He didn't go the 90 mile an hour, the 100 mile an hour football. He just played it correctly. Let's just feel them out. Let's just hold them, especially that first half. The second half, I thought, got disrupted. This is my personal opinion. You know, there's people trying to criticise Ugarte coming on and all that, saying, oh, he just changed the tempo and all that. But I actually believed the tempo of the game. This is me looking at it with my own eyes. I thought the tempo of the game actually changed when the VAR got involved and we was all there and I'd gone for a cup of tea.
Yeah, sort of took the sting out of the game.
Took the sting. It took,
you know, everyone just waiting around, didn't it? Scratching their heads.
I mean, players were talking to the opposition and all that. It was like, oh, here we go again and all that. And people sort of took the eye off the ball. And I think that gave an impetus for Fulham to get back in the game.
Like it says on the title for today's video, I mean, we've discussed it many times since the start of the season, and you've always stuck with your prediction that you think United will finish 8th come the end of it. Is that changing now?
Oh, yeah, 100% is changing. My prediction was 8th. The carnage and chaos will always come. And I always said, like, he's experimenting, Ruben Amorim. He needs to get a settled side, and he wasn't getting a settled side. So if you don't have a settled side, right, you will have carnage and chaos. Well, we've got a settled side now. Got a settled side. The only reason why there's any changes in this side is because of, like, injuries and the systems change. So for me, looking at the position we're in now, 8th, nah, there's no way we're going to be 8th. 4th, possibly 5th. But the reality of the situation is, you know, it is an in and out season for most teams here. You just don't know what's going to happen. But from United's point of view, I think they're on and up. They're always on the front foot. They've nothing to be on the back foot for. They will always be going forward. So 7th, a lot of teams will be fighting to get in the top 4. And I think 7th over the next week or two will be clear. There'll be 7 teams fighting to get in that top 4, top 5 position. And I do believe, I looked at some of the games what are coming up with the opposition and everything, and I think the next 2 games, if we win them next 2 games, which would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and they are winnable games, the mood we're in, I think top 4 will be clear in top 4.
No doubts at all, because I did see some comments on your match reaction mentioning about the drop-off and allowing Fulham to come back into the game at 2-2. Have you got any worries or slight doubts with you seeing that yesterday?
No, I've got no worries whatsoever. United will not finish 8th. There is no way in my mind they will finish 8th. I am looking at a completely, totally different team. I'm looking at a different manager. I'm looking at a manager with new ideas. They've all took it on board. They didn't seem to take it on board with Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim was throwing like a bit of beef into everything in a press conference. So everyone's upbeat, and you can see they're upbeat. When players are hugging like Kieran and Casemiro on the bench, like they were, everything's changed. And it's just the way forward now. The way forward is competing for a 4th or 5th place. That's how I see it. I think I'm 80% sure that we'll get in the Champions League now. But it was all based on, can we continue and take it to Fulham and overhaul them? Because I always seen that as the difficult game.
Well, it'd be some drop-off. I think currently in the Premier League in 8th position is Fulham on 34 points, and we're in 4th on 41 points. So it'd be some massive drop-off from now until the end of the season if we dropped that many points and actually finished 8th. So
it's 2 losses. You lose 2 games. This is what I'm saying. It'd be great to have 2 wins here now against Tottenham and West Ham. But if you lose them 2 games, that pack behind you suddenly is a point behind you, 2 points behind you, all level with you. And that creates its own problems. And then the mood in the camp, will that change and all that? Do you know what I mean? So, it's still nip and tuck here. And I won't take anything for granted. But if it continues the next 2 games where we get 4 points, if we get a minimum 4 points out the next 2 games, then really, 4th, 5th, that's it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, a lot of you's getting involved. Your opinions on yesterday's game as well, seeing positivity from now until the end of the season of where we might finish as well. And Rully Opez says, yesterday's speech was O'Neill's best yet. Much love from Mallorca. Thanks for joining us, my mate, and everyone else out there. And we're looking for now 4 wins in a row under Michael Carrick, which we've actually not done since February 2024 under Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, but this is a different situation. This is a different situation. It was like, where are we going? Where are we going in the league? There's chaos in the camp. There's unrest in the camp. Everyone knew it. The fans' mood had turned. They were going against what they were seeing on the pitch. They weren't vocally inside the ground screaming for Ruben Amorim out. We backed him. The majority of fans backed him last year, but we wanted change and we wasn't seeing it. And we knew there was something coming, right? Because of the way things were being reported. There was things coming out more where we hadn't seen it. So we knew what was happening, and then it just blew up. No, I can't. Listen, 4 games in a row, fantastic. But the thing is, I feel blessed that I've had 3 wins in a row like I've had. The way it's been done, because that pain is gone. The pain's gone. It didn't go under the last time we won 4 games in the trot. It was a different situation. This was like, where are we going in the league? Where are we going? We might not make Champions League with no money for transfers. All sorts of things go through your mind. This is a different time.
Saying you feel blessed, though, with 3 wins in a row. That's
No,
that's very like...
Sorry, I said it wrong. I feel blessed in watching the football I have and with the emotions and everything, right? But I feel blessed on behalf of the people I've spoken to before the game, after the game, over the last 3 weeks. They feel just like different people. Yeah. They've seen different football, and it's a change, especially for all the kids what haven't seen 3 games in the trot to experience things like that.
Very humble, and not the typical stereotype that other fans give United fans of being entitled, as though they should be winning every single game.
Yeah, but winning every game, winning cups, winning the leagues and all that makes you entitled. Feel you're entitled. We're the best. We're that. But that's football fans. That's how you are. That's how you behave. It sort of rubs off. We're the best. Don't mess with us. We know what we're talking about. We've won this. We've won that. Of course you feel entitled. And you've got every right to be.
Craig Robbo from our members club, thanks for your super chat. I was going to say choo-choo then, but we are on the deluded train, most of us, aren't we, anyway? So
yeah, a lot of people have got on that deluded train now. I've seen all the comments and that, all the choo-choos, we're on it and all that. Well, I've got a first-class ticket and all that, you know what I mean?
Standing room only now.
Yeah, there's only standing room only. Everyone's on the deluded train. And that's when I go back to what I said about a few comments. People aren't jumping out of the skin with some of the comments, but there's not many. They're sort of trying to stay level-headed and pretend that, yeah, I'm level-headed, I'm this and that. Listen, football doesn't make you level-headed. It makes you go off your head one way or the other. You know, if you want to talk about stats and that, then be level-headed. Fine. But when it comes to emotion and like raw football and everything what you see there, you can't be level-headed. You're a football fan. And really, I like what's going on because we're getting back to what fans should be getting back to. What happens on the pitch. Nothing else should matter to us. But unfortunately, the way that this club's been run for years, right, off-field events and all that have come into our psyche. That's why I'm made up for a lot of the fans what come to the match, what to see and speak to, because they're coming with optimism, they're bouncing, not like last year. I mean, last season, right, people was coming there, I was thinking they was going to a funeral, attending a wake or something like that. They were just getting out of bed, coming to the game and going, oh, no, don't really want to be here, but hey, you know, that's how it was.
Yeah, I think one of the worst ones for me in recent memory when I've come here to Old Trafford and before the game, you know, trying to engage the fans' mood, trying to have conversations was before the Sunderland game, I think it was, and we was beat previously away to Brentford. I mean, there was a lot of fans that day before the game. You know, the chins are on the chest, you know, the shoulders are down. There wasn't a lot of positivity going round at all. And there was an expectation as though, like, we weren't going to get the 3 points that day.
Yeah, but that game this year, that was a really bad atmosphere for the fans coming to the game. But I'm going on about last year.
Yeah.
Last year was terrible. The second half of the season, people was coming. You look at the teams there. I mean, I've not looked for a long time, right? But you could go through a list. And some of yous out there might want to remind us. But some of the teams what was coming here, and they were just playing pure football and tearing right through us. And people were seeing it week after week. Teams just ripping us through the middle. And we all knew the problem, but no one was solving it. And it didn't get solved in the summer. Better get solved this summer.
And Tel, thanks for the super chat from our members club. As long as those lads keep giving their all on the pitch every game, I will back them. Win, lose or draw. Just show me you mean it.
No, that's all you ever want as a football fan, especially a United fan. You want to like go out there. Yes, you want the 3 points, you want the win and that, but you have to show fight. You have to show willing. And for years, I mean, I've called players out, and I make no apologies for calling players out. And the big one everyone knows out there, you know what I mean? It's nothing new. I've called Rashford out, you know, for being lazy. And I'm not the only one. I've seen some like ex-players now calling him out, sort of saying, what do you mean there's a chance of him coming back? No, you want players to work hard and fight and play for the badge. When you don't see that, it's really, really not annoying. It makes me mad, to be honest with you. But when you see people on the pitch put the effort in, even if they lose, you can appreciate it that the better team won. But my team, at least they fought.
Another big game coming up against Spurs on Saturday.
Yeah.
I think in the last 7, we've not won in all competitions against Spurs. Let me know if I'm wrong on that stat. But, yeah, another huge game.
I can't believe that stat.
Yeah.
Not won in 7 against Spurs. And we used to mock them. I mean, mock them. Under Ferguson, we used to mock them. I think Spursy. It's only Spursy. Roy Keane just tears them apart. It's only Spursy. What do you expect? We're just playing them. Now, 3-0 up, Spurs. Well, what do you expect? They just got beat 4-3. It's Spursy. But not to have won in 7 games. And we've seen some terrible games against Spurs. Terrible. That Europa League final. I mean, that was a brain killer. Absolute brain killer. But I'm telling you, we've got to turn them over. We have to turn them over. Half 12 kick-off. I think that might be in our favour, to be honest with you. Might be in United's favour. I just look at Spurs and I think to myself, yeah, they got a draw against Tottenham. They come back in the second half. You know, they're in and out. And it is the Spurs. But they seem to come to Old Trafford and put in the effort. And I've not seen that over the years. It's only recently they've done that. They seem to have a little bit going for themselves when they're playing Man United. But big game, 3 points, and that's all what really matters now, getting the 3 points, because as I say, we're fighting for 4th, we're fighting for 5th at this moment. So getting the 3 points, yes, I'd love a game like we've seen in the last 3, but hey, 3 points now, they're all what matters.
Fred Crennan from our members club has gifted 5 memberships. Fred, the legend, the 5 people have been gifted their memberships. A big thank you to Fred.
Top man.
Kobbie Mainoo. What do you think of him in the 3 games that he's played under Michael Carrick? Getting a better understanding of the actual position of being in midfield, do you think, compared to, let's say,
I'm being honest here.
Erik ten Hag?
I'm being honest here. I think people are going way overboard on Mainoo. I've got to say he has done really, really well, like every other player. I think what it is, Casemiro's there, and Casemiro's playing a different game. And he's really helping Mainoo. He's helping him by talking to him and everything else like that. But he's doing the job. He's covering the ground. And I have to say, it's really good. It's sort of like he's put something else into his game. Now, I expected Mainoo to be further forward, creating on the edge of the box and that. But he now seems to be in a different role. And I think he's going to grow into that role. I don't think he's there. I think people are too quick to hype up the Mainoo. I think it's more like trying to get clicks and all that with people talking about the Mainoo and bullying him up. And I think it's wrong to bull him up. He suffered under Ruben Amorim, putting Bruno in that position and then publicly stating he ain't going to get in because Bruno, everything goes through Bruno in that position. He's our captain. He's vital. He can't get in any other position. So for me, he's suffered, and I think it's early days yet, and I think he's done well, Kobbie Mainoo, but I'm not going to go overboard on him because I think there's more to come from Mainoo. And what it is, everyone's riding a wave. And it is a massive wave, and Mainoo is part of that. And I think the summer and the start of next year, we'll see the true Kobbie Mainoo. And he might have a different position. Like I say, I like Kobbie Mainoo when he's further forward. That doesn't seem to be what's happening with Mainoo, unless I'm wrong. My eyes, I'm only going off my eye test. Yeah. I see him round here, hovering around and all that. He doesn't seem to keep hold of the ball as long as he used to. Seems to be releasing it, which is good. But I ain't going overboard on him.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually, when you just said it there. And, thinking back to the last 3 games, he's playing more in and around the centre circle, really. Yeah. Getting about 10 or 15 yards over that, but you're then not really seeing any late runs into the box like you might have expected under, let's say, Erik ten Hag in particular. And obviously that's something to do with what they're doing on the training ground, the instructions that are being given on the pitch. But Mainoo and Casemiro right now, it's a great partnership and totally different of what we were seeing under Erik ten Hag from them two.
Yeah, it's a totally different game for Kobbie Mainoo. Like, say, we're used to him running into the edge of the area and that, but he's working with Casemiro, and it is down to the tactics, the change of formation and everything. So, was Ruben Amorim wrong? Well, clearly so. Clearly so. There's no place for him. But he was wrong for Ruben Amorim because Ruben Amorim had his system and it didn't allow for Kobbie Mainoo to be in there. What it did, it just allowed for that midfield to be too wide open, and Carrick's got it where Casemiro and Mainoo are playing to each other. They're working with each other. They're relying on each other. They're not having to worry that if one goes forward, right, there's no one behind because one covers the other. So there's a different style of, and it's all about combinations, isn't it?
Partnerships as well.
Partnerships. That's what we're seeing. So it's going to be interesting when Casemiro leaves, who, by the way, has been getting 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I mean, he got 9 out of 10 yesterday, right? But it's going to be very interesting to see who United get to go in that position of Casemiro. And to be honest with you, if we do get Champions League football or European football, we're going to have more than one player brought into that position to take us right through to the end of the year. It won't be one game a week.
Might be a better idea just to scrap that official announcement of Casemiro leaving at the end of the season and sign him up for another year contract.
No,
he's playing at the moment.
No, listen, Casemiro is benefiting unbelievably by Michael Carrick because he's got help and he's not being asked to do something he can't do, and he hasn't got the legs. He hasn't got the legs to run around and chase players all over the pitch. There's no sign of him lunging in, diving in, getting sent off or booked or whatever. And that's because he's sat there, he's in a controlled position, he's looking forward, he's not having to look to the side and chase back because he knows he's being covered. So for me, Casemiro is benefiting and he looks absolutely fantastic, to be honest with you. But the reality is he can't do 90 minutes football week in, week out. That's how I see it. And it is right for him to go. It is the right time. And I just hope he continues doing what he's doing. And he's not just doing it for himself, he's doing it for the team. That's how I see it.
Bruno Fernandes again showing how good his football intelligence is on the pitch by getting round his man and then crossing into the box for Šeško to finish.
Yeah, it's like yesterday. I would have criticised Bruno. Yesterday on my match, I would have criticised Bruno, but there was no need because it wasn't about stats and going into like how the team played and how they set up and did this. It was all about the atmosphere. It was all about emotion and what we've seen and everything else last night. But when I look at the first half, I spoke to you at half time and I said, I'm sick to death of him doing back heels and little flicks and it not coming off. Why don't he stop doing it? Keep hold of the ball, right? But then I said to you later on, I said to you last night, what an absolute dummy he sent that player to get behind him and get the ball in there to Šeško. But that's Bruno. Now, he did some good football in there, but he sort of niggled me in the first half. So if he had any criticism, it's like, stop the flicks. Well, where's this come from? It was totally different than the two previous games, right? He was back heeling it, hoping someone would be there.
But the confidence has come from the two games under Michael Carrick.
No.
Players to try these flicks, try something they wouldn't have normally done under the likes of Ruben Amorim. So I'm not going to criticise any player for trying that. I mean, I do think Bruno Fernandes yesterday, I don't think he was bang at it.
No.
Like we've seen in them two games against City and Arsenal. But, you know, I'll never criticise a player for trying things and being brave on the ball.
Listen, I wasn't criticising him. Right?
Sure.
But I wasn't criticising him. I was just saying, stop it. Right? He did his game. He had the game plan and everything. It was just annoying me. And I thought there was no need for him to do that. He didn't do it in the two previous games. They were working together. They know how to pass. They know other players are there. I just thought, well, it's not come off. Don't try it again, and he did.
Yeah, but he was coming up against a different team in Fulham in how they set up compared to the way City and Arsenal were set up. So, you know, when you're coming up against the Fulham side, when we're in possession and we're near the edge of their box, they're obviously going to have 5 centre-backs behind him. So he's trying something different to get...
Okay, I'm going to try and win my point. I'll put it this way. I thought Bruno should have kept hold of the ball and kept possession instead of trying too many flicks. I think I might have won my point over there.
You mean...
He should have kept more of the ball instead of trying to flick it. So let's move on from that.
Keeping things simple from side to side.
And that's the way to play football. Nice and simple.
I do like it when the game is a little bit chaotic, though, and Bruno Fernandes is on the ball. I actually think he's at his best when the game is chaos, and especially if you're playing them counter-attacking side of the football.
Well, yeah. Listen, you can't argue with Bruno. You just can't argue with Bruno. I mean, the position he was put in under Ruben Amorim, he was left back, he was right back, he was running all over the place. Yeah. He's more focused now. The whole team's more focused now. The only thing, I look at it, how does Dorgu get back in? I mean, Carrick wanted to start the same 11 again, but Dorgu was injured. Kuna got in. But the thing is, I don't think Kuna was bothered that he was on the bench the game before. Yeah. But he started. Well, Dorgu's going to be on the bench. Will he be bothered when he comes back? No, he won't, because he understands what's going on inside Manchester United. So I just look forward to the games. Bruno has moved into that position. Thank God he did. That it leaves a place for Mainoo. I just hope that Mainoo knuckles down, gets on with it, and has a sort of like, because I do believe Mainoo was looking to get out. I don't think the 3 contract offers what have been reported out there, he's turned them down. So people might have different opinions and all that, but I hope he knuckles down, and I hope that he gets a new partner in the summer, and that we see like him continue his progress, because he's not there yet.
I wouldn't believe the reports myself. I don't know if you do, about free contract offers being given to Mainoo on the table, but there's definitely been discussions there going back to even 2024 of that summer. I always remember Romano coming out with it. So I wondered if they have actually found a solution there in getting Kobbie Mainoo to sign a new and improved contract, because the wages that are being reported for Mainoo, and you're looking at other players around the squad, you know, the age group, etc., you know, he does deserve to be paid more, in my opinion, especially in the modern day football.
Listen, listen, I'm not going to go on about wages and all that. I'm sick to death of it, right? I'm in a great mood, right? So I'm going to go on to this one. There's two things. I'm more emotional last night talking about the football going forward. But I tell you what come to my mind last night when I was relaxing, right? And this might send a few of you right off the scale, to be honest with you, right? I seen someone sort of comment and go, if Amorim had got 5 more points, I don't know why this was said. If Amorim had got 5 more points, how different it would look right now. And then it was, what do you mean? Well, it has still been here. We wouldn't be going through what we've gone through. And I thought to myself, why is someone saying that? Do you know what I mean? It is what it is where we are. Do you know what I mean? Why are people still sort of like chirping on, having a little dig?
It's all in the past, that.
Well, that's what I thought. It's in the past, and that's what I'm coming to now. Whatever Ruben Amorim got up to, whatever was gone, it's gone. And the reality is this. What we're seeing now isn't going to be there next year. You know, we've got a manager to sort out. Will it be Carrick?
You just enjoy the moment right now, like you say. Will it be Carrick? Will Carrick get the permanent manager's job, or will they look to go and get a more experienced manager in the summer? Who knows? So let's just enjoy the ride, take it game by game, and let's see where we end up at the end of the season.
Well, that's right. And we've got to keep that mood going. But there's a question to be asked here about the next manager, whether it is Carrick or someone else. I mean, will that next manager be bringing in his own players? Will he choose them? And what it is, there's been like, oh, we all used to sit round a table. Do you remember them conversations? The press used to release it. Yeah, Wilcox this and sits down, Ruben Amorim sits down, and we all make a decision collectively. Well, I don't believe that, you know, especially when I listen to like billionaire owners, especially them Chelsea owners. They've made it clear, like their manager they brought in, okay, he's the coach. He has nothing to do with it, and he's acknowledged he has nothing to do with picking players in the transfer window, what's going to come up. It's not his job. He's there to coach, and the owners of Chelsea have made that clear. But it's not been made clear to us. It's like they've like skipped round the issue. And I believe, and a lot of fans did make comments many, many times saying Ruben Amorim's just a coach. He don't pick the players. He don't go out there and say, this is the player I want. It's the owners. And I think when the next manager comes in, that has to be cleared up, because we need to know, have we got a manager or have we got a coach? And looking at it, like Carrick's old school. Now, will he have that if they go for Carrick? You know, there's a question I think we would all want answering.
Anything more to add?
No, I've just had a great time, really. I've had a great time. I've had a great time talking to United fans. I've had a great time watching United. And it just brings me so much. Like I say, I feel blessed over the last 3 weeks. And I've seen people so happy. It's unreal. Yeah, so for me, the carnage and chaos is over. I mean, even if we go and get beat the next few games, the carnage and chaos is over till the end of the season, because we all know the situation we're in. There's no fair football. We're going to Old Trafford. We're watching United for the entertainment now, because they can't achieve anything, only qualification for Europe. You know, there's no going for the league. There's no going for a cup or anything like that. We're all here now to enjoy the football. And I think the club, I say the club, the players all know that. They're going to express themselves. Well, the fans have got to go to Old Trafford and not worry about anything else. Just express themselves and enjoy the game and back the players. And I think we should all stop worrying for the next 4 months about anything else except watching Manchester United and enjoying the football, because everything else at the moment doesn't matter. That'll come when the big decisions have to be made.
I mean, before he took charge for the City game, Carrick, he was taking a bit of flack out there from, ex-players, pundits in the media, and his coaching staff as well. And whilst Michael Carrick is getting a lot of the plaudits now after his first 3 games, I think his coaching staff need that as well. In your Steve Holland, your Woodgate, your Johnny Evans, etc.
Oh, they all need the plaudits. They've all got down. They've all embedded themselves with the players. The players have got the mood. Everyone's together. I think when you look at Carrick, I said soon as Carrick come in, and I'll say it again, whether it was Ollie, whether it was Van Nistelrooy what come in, you was always going to get this type of football. And I'm absolutely baffled that the understanding of ex-players, pundits out there didn't see this, didn't understand what was coming. Why were they so negative and that? But that's what's out there. That's the agenda. But real football people, really, when they look at it, should have understood that, hang on a minute, the shackles are off, okay? This, 3 at the back and all that, that's not going to be played. You've got people who understand the football. You've got an ex-footballer, someone connected to United, and you'll have the fans backing it. I was always baffled by the criticism by experts and by ex-footballers. I think it's been poor journalism out there. But the thing is, we shouldn't really expect it any other way, should we? We've had it all our lives.
Squire 7 has seen the chat that you tagged us into, and hopefully that wager you've put on does come up for you, my mate, at the end of the season. But I'd just like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved in the chat, been popping off in there, a mix of opinions, which is what we like to see as well. Please support us as well by smashing that like button, hyping the video and subscribing if it's your first time watching. We'll be back tomorrow with another live, so get that notification on. Come and join us and we'll have another Manchester United chat. Take care and we'll see you tomorrow. Much love. Thank you.